I look a boss, you might look at the gin and I look a boss. I no look a force. All of my niggas that know that I'm in my zoo. These are the niggas that force. Mention your with your do look a correct, I didn't know. How you cool, I'm here to make a book and make a step in life. For me, I'm a remorse. I work, I can feel me a two trade, love and loyalty. Man, I know that we thirsty, but double cross, but a niggas never me. I work, I can feel me a two trade, love and loyalty. Man, I know that we thirsty, but double cross, but a niggas never me. Hey, I need that they got you ahead of me. Oh yeah, I need you. But that doesn't mean they go ahead of me, nigga. That doesn't mean they go ahead of me, nigga. I need that they got you ahead of me. Oh yeah, I need you, yeah. But that doesn't mean they go ahead of me, nigga. That doesn't mean they go ahead of me. Hip hop is love and no irony. Within the gate, I'm a beef, my go get on, get calorie. Oh yeah. The land to be on, get a war okay. Broken my go your hands, stop your channel, get a ramogi. Okay, like Coco, nigga. But wait, I couldn't make a one. Here I'm on the Musa Juma no way. But one thing I know for sure, these are the niggas don't wanna see me win. They wanna see a nigga lose. They wanna see a nigga die broke. But deep down, I got the juice. The niggas know I got the sauce too. I've been a lot of them say they're supplying the niggas with doses and doses. Make you make your moves in any way, the only rule the bosses. Good afternoon, family. Grand Rising at 5 minutes past the top of the hour. Welcome back again. I'm really sorry again, man. We don't know what's up with the lights. They're really pissing us off as well. This has become a norm for the last 1 month. Lights just disappearing, no explanation.
I never needed no one when I was.
But yes, welcome back to the show. Pan African Bliss Show. Every Monday to Friday.
Niggas just straight up.
We had started with our conversation, so we shall continue from where we were.
Kuna kitu anasema buda na babu. Wanna drum too hot to handle. Man a bad man like Django. Stay with the strap like Rambo. Wanna do my stylist move from Kitambo. Get a boy been through struggle. They know I thrive in the jungle. You niggas is clowns, just juggle. Got my weight up at the muscle. Choy anasema stay yangu na mbamba. Na bado niko extra kimba na mbamba. Yeah, venye na roganga.
And I'm reaching out to all the brothers and sisters on the African continent. You're tuning into the Black Hot Fire Radio, and you're listening to the Pan African Bliss Show with your host, none other than Joby.
Yes, karibuni.
Andrew Robinson, enough respect, love, respect, and justice for all.
Exactly. Every Monday to Friday. And of course, I'm your host, JOBY. To everyone with us on YouTube, I don't have time to literally set the show all again on Rumble, BitChute. So for those who are with us on YouTube, everyone with us on the network, on the radio, those are the ones who shall be able to catch up with this show of the day, because we had already started this, but Light seems not wanting us to do this. I don't really get it, what has been happening for the last 1 month. This has been the norm of lights just actually disappearing. We have no explanation from the county government. We have no explanation of what is happening. But maybe the only explanation we could have is that they're trying to block us from actually talking about the Dutch royals' visit in Kenya, which happened yesterday. We didn't have lights the whole day, but we shall not be focusing on that. I'll share that detail that is towards the end of the show. We had started with our conversation for today, and I started with an amazing video coming from this lady from Nigeria, and I just want to restart literally with our video so that we can be able to understand basically what I'm talking about or what I'm sharing. When you talk about our economy, I was saying that our economy is not doing well globally, not just Nigeria, but in Africa. When you talk about our resources, I feel like in Africa, due to the resources we have and everything we have, the arable land and so many things that we have no idea value of, if you are taught the right information, if we are taught the value of the things we have, we should be the least people as the rest of the world scrambles and actually, struggles with the economy. Let me say that. As the rest of the world struggles with the economy, we should be the least people, or the African continent should be the least focusing on struggling when it comes to economy, because we have so much that actually can make our economy great. We're talking about resources, we're talking about agriculture, talking about so many things. We have so much potential, but it has all been stolen away from African people themselves. So I'm going to start with this video right here, which is explaining this lady. She's actually crying to Timibu. or the government in general, talking about our economy is worsening every single day. I bet for you also, Sister Angela, shout out to you. Nice to see you. Been a minute, hope you're doing amazing. I bet also economy is not doing okay for you. There's some things maybe you go to the store, purchase, you see the price the way it was a year back then or 2 years back then. It's not the same price that you have today. It could be maybe milk, it could be cheese, it could be macaroni, it could be milk, it could be different things that today when you go to the market, it's no longer the same. But this is globally. But focusing on Africa, the question is, do you think we should be crying about economy? I mean, with all the potential we have, yes, we don't have the potential. It has been stolen away from us, but we still have the potential. So let me share this video as we get into the main conversation of the day. Like I said, we shall be sharing a video coming from a white guy explaining the white existence, why they're so dominant, and that this is actually, I'd say, a combination of Keith's teachings, who of course took us through 7 episodes of understanding the creation or where white people come from. And along with this, I want to share, of course, and this is coming from my topic, white people are not the same, or they're not like us, and we have to accept it as African people. So look at this. This lady is complaining about economy. The next video I'm going to share is explaining about the mindset of people when it comes to, I'd say, economy or wealth. I'd say Africans generally. And then we have this lady who was exploited from Kenya to Vietnam. And I don't know if it's exploitation or docility or desperation, but it's not making sense. But at the same time, I have to share it because this is where we go back to Africans in the continent where they need to do research before you travel outside the continent. You need to do research. You need to do research before you step your foot outside the continent. Again, white people are not like us, and we have to accept it because we go outside there expecting maybe the same love, the same warmth. And that's why I'll wind up with that video of the white guy explaining literally how the white people behave and why they behave that way.
I really feel so overwhelmed, and I feel like if a lot of Nigerians come out and start speaking on what we are actually going through, then maybe changes will be made in the government. Don't you guys think? And this video, I just want to say to our president, I don't know if there have been any other president that is terrible, but you are such a president. It is so hard. So I'm coming from the supermarket where I went to get foodstuffs, and everything has gone up again. It's just like every single week prices increase. I want to know, what is the government doing about this increment? Is there going to be a particular time where prices will stop going up? Is there going to be a particular time where things are going to go back? Guys, why am I going to get a crate of egg and they're telling me it is 6.5? It doesn't make any sense that egg will cost 6.5. Like, I literally can't remember when egg used to cost 800. And I'm so overwhelmed because this is literally my first time doing this adulthood thing alone. This is my first time.
I mean, I saw also in America, that was, I think, last month. In the States, also eggs prices were supposed to skyrocket. So it's not just Nigeria. Also here, the eggs prices keep on skyrocketing. Sometimes you'll find they go up, they go down. You know, it's always like a subsidy is happening, you know.
I'm moving out.
In 1973, Nigeria's minimum wage could buy more bags of rice than it can today. There was a time when earning a Nigerian salary meant real purchasing power. In the early 1970s, the minimum wage was about 125 naira per month, and a bag of rice cost around 5 naira, meaning a worker could afford over 20 bags with their salary. Fast forward to today, the minimum wage is 30,000 naira, while a bag of rice costs over 70,000 naira in some places. That means even a full month's salary isn't enough to buy just one bag. What happened to the naira?
Exactly. So, like I said, personally, it's not about the naira because we know that our currencies themselves also don't have any value. I mean, let's talk about that. Our currencies lack, literally, it's zero value. When you compare with all the oil being stolen in Nigeria, it's a whole lot. If you look at the Rothschild and the Rockefellers, the amount of money they are made out of Shell, you know, and all those names they have come up with, it's billions, trillions of money that they owe Nigeria. And not just Nigeria, but the continent of Africa. Again, I believe personally, with all the information I have today, we have the ability to become rich. We should be the least people in this continent talking about our economy not favoring us, but only if we really had full control of our resources, if we really had full control of our economy, but we really don't. But due to that, so since you can see that the economy or the desperation, because it has not started today, where we can see prices of things skyrocketing. It has been happening over and over again. We're going to see it probably next year getting worse, the next coming year getting worse. But until we step up and make a change and stop thinking this way, because this lady explains it very well. The mentality of African people, because of the miseducation, the brainwashing, it has actually stuck to the point where you think you just deserve all this suffering. At least, yeah, we have people who are complaining, seeing that things are not the same the way they were back then. But we have a group of people whose mentality are like, nah, this is none of my business. You know, the government is working the way it's supposed to be working, you know, because looking at one of the comments, actually, and this is what I'm trying to tell you, looking at the first comment, there's someone who said, on that video I just shared, this is a gorgeous woman. She says, or he says, a gorgeous woman like you shouldn't be worrying about things like this. I'm sorry, sister. So I'm like, what should she be worrying about? If I'm not going to worry about my economy, which is affecting me, what should I be worried about? And that's the type of mentality I am literally talking about. Because we have people in Africa who are literally slowing us down towards revolution because of the mentality they have, thinking that this is okay, things should be working the way they should, the way we've been raised with the mentality of you shouldn't question anything, you know, let it be. This is politicians' issues. Let the politicians handle it. But these politicians are affecting my life. My lifestyle is being affected because of a politician who's growing a balloon stomach, creating, you know, buying offshores or owns different offshores outside the African continent. His children barely study in Africa. I'm struggling as much as I can to go to school. So what are you talking about? That's the mentality we really need to change. Someone else on this comment says, imagine what Ibrahim Traore could do with Nigeria. A very good question. And a very good, actually, statement, because just imagine, we've seen the transformation in Burkina Faso just within 2 years. I mean, look at the massive changes in Burkina Faso. If you're not witnessing it, you just being ignorant. If you don't want to see, or you're not really witnessing the change in Burkina Faso, still stuck up in the mainstream media with their propaganda, then you're just ignorant. That's all I'll say for now. But imagine what Ibrahim Traore can do or will do with Nigeria, the resources, because again, we have everything. We do have everything. Another person says, this is fact. Everyday people are struggling to survive out there. Yeah, because it's not Nigeria only. And then the last comment I'm going to read still under the same video I shared. This lady says, they are threatening her for speaking up. They said she shouldn't talk because she's a cop. She's a COP member, but the law in the COP member booklet says that that any COP shouldn't take part in any partisan activities, and of which she didn't. She only exercised her freedom of speech or rights as a citizen. So I don't understand why they are threatening her. Of course. And that's how they want to keep us Africans, you know, always scared. We shouldn't talk about these problems affecting us. But this is why. You need to change your mentality.
When you think about it, the complexity of the colonial systems is actually insane. And these people made sure, like, the systems reinforce each other. They, like, back up each other. There's no way you're going to break out of this matrix. Poverty exists because of, let me name the simple three: religion. Religion makes the poor man understand or believe that he's deserving of what's happening to him. He can't kill the rich man, and his riches are not on earth. His riches are in heaven, even though God already gave them the riches.
Yeah, someone remind me at the end of the show to share a video where we have Africans, and then I'm talking about the mentality. It's really saddening, but for me, it makes me mad at this point to see that this is how bad brainwashing has really gotten us. We have Africans. Someone can barely even get a land right here in their own continent, because we're still struggling to get our own lands back in our own continent. We can see the fights between the powers. I'd say literally all these leaders. We've seen the fight when it comes to even us Africans getting our own lands right here. We fought by our own leaders. So you want to tell me today you have money to go spend outside a church to acquire a land in heaven? Talk about that type of mentality, because I'm talking about facts. We have a group of people in Africa, a country, I don't know in which country, I'll read that article, but they have been removing literally more than $100,000 100 and others is $100 and others is $1,000 to acquire a land, a piece of land in heaven. I mean, just make that statement make sense to me. So I want to restart this video because
when you think about it,
it's just crazy.
Complexity of the colonial systems is actually insane. And these people made sure, like, the systems reinforce